is deep thunder. Deep thunder is the name the Russian. Anxious creativity. Gotwala literal and opita for the symptom and enopes. Zui. I. Seen shen creative nil renfos folr verin open horse came frog talk of open for Whitney to creative consutek vein.
Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Deep Thunder. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the opportunity to say a few words. If you were puzzled by what Blake was saying just now, fear not. It was an intentionally unedited sample of text generated by Deep Thunder. Who is Deep Thunder? Deep Thunder is a name that I gave to an open source recurrent neural network originally devised by two guys from Stanford, Justin Johnson and Andrej Karpathy. I then trained Deep Thunder on the text of this very speech that you are listening to. That resulted in a character-level language model from which I was able to generate new samples of text, one of which you just heard. The result, as you might agree, is amusing, but not in itself entirely intelligible. It needs the intervention of a human agent, a human author in this case, to become intelligible and usable in a creative context. And this is exactly what I did for the purposes of Down to a Sunless Sea. I took the story and I trained Deep Thunder on that text. And from that resulted a character-level language model. And using that, I was able to generate new texts and pick out the words and phrases that was usable back into the story. AI is such a buzzword these days. Even in the mainstream media, we are starting to hear things like, the robots are coming, they're going to take over human jobs, and worse. Who would have thought a few years ago that the last bastion of human endeavor, namely human creativity, would also come under scrutiny? The real question is, how do we as artists and as writers respond to this challenge? Probably two of the best examples of human and AI collaborations right now are the film scripts of Ross Goodwin, namely Sunspring and It's No Game, and the nightmarish faces and videos of Mario Klingemann. For both of these people, the creative exploration isn't a response of fear, but one of invention and collaboration. They give us an idea of what might be possible in future with creative AI. What did artists do when photography was invented back in the 19th century? Well, early in the 20th century we had Cubism, which was a major revolution, and after that, conceptual art, another revolution. Now, at the advent of the AI era, I have no doubt that we will see new revolutions both in art and also in literature. At Thunderclap Publishing, we are trying to embrace that future. Google claims that it already has a computer, a quantum computer, that is 100 million times faster than any other computer currently available. That is truly mind-boggling. What does it mean for us, for AI, for creative AI? Well, that is very difficult to say, perhaps impossible even to speculate. But one thing is for sure, human hardware is very different from computer hardware. As humans, we are biological, biophysical, biochemical. We get hungry. We have emotions, needs, and desires. And yet programming these things into a computer using logic is very difficult. In fact, it's not the same thing, really. Our best bet may be to simulate these things in an AI. And yet, we understand ourselves as humans so poorly at present that it is quite a dubious prospect to think that we can actually simulate or program a computer to be like us. Therefore, the best prospect we may have is for AI to help us understand ourselves by being confronted with a consciousness and I use the word consciousness in the loosest possible sense of the word. But by being confronted by another consciousness that is very sophisticated, we may at the same time come to get to know ourselves better. Who knows what will happen? But I, for one, welcome our new creative collaborators.